Steve Aquario from NYSAC, and Albany County Executive Dan McCoy. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So we are here to talk about this book that the county executives of New York have put together. It's called Our Darkest Hours. I think this is a great idea. It has every county executive down on record what their experience was like during the pandemic. It was very varied, obviously. Every county was different throughout the state. Steve, I want to start with you. Can you remind our viewers what counties were actually responsible for during the pandemic? Because I feel like it got lost on a lot of people that you were really on the front lines.
Well, if our viewers don't know what counties do, they should by now.
Yeah, I hope so.
Really, the county government officials, the county executives, like County Executive McCoy, these were the incident commanders. So when we have an emergency, a state of emergency, they have to spring up and act to protect their communities. So initially with their public health commissioners and the role of local public health, we had to begin to understand testing. How to get testing. Where was this virus going? A lot of effort was focused on testing. Then we had to move to where was the infection spreading? So the counties had to do isolation and quarantining. And then ultimately after that, when the vaccine became available, they were the primary unit of government to move these vaccines around, especially to vulnerable populations. So they were doing all of those public health efforts in addition to trying to keep their small businesses running. Their bars, their taverns, small businesses, how to issue grants, loans, how to keep society going. And to County Executive McCoy, how to calm the public, how he calmed the public by talking to them and communicating to them that we're going to do the best that we can through this time.
Right, there was just a lot going on with counties. They were offering so many services. Dan, in the book that you write that you were learning on the fly, and I should mention you're also president of the County Executives of America.
Correct.
So you were learning on the fly, you write. Tell me what you meant, because this is stuff that you've dealt with before on some level, like flu and vaccine distribution, that kind of stuff, but obviously not quite on this level.
No, I mean, some of the lessons learned for us was that, and I'll grab from my own experience, being a former firefighter, being a member of the New York Army National Guard and doing a mobilization overseas, was looking at this whole situation and how we were getting executive orders, federal orders, and they were changing the way we're operating, doing business. And we had to learn things on the fly. We get an order that would come in and say, you have to do X, Y, and Z. And then we figure it out. And then an hour later, nope, this is what you have to do. Working things on the fly was like, I said, we have to reimagine the workforce, you know. And for government, and Steve will probably say the same thing, government, it's hard because we're used to doing things a certain way. And we've been doing it for over 300 years in Albany County that way. And to reinvent that wheel and bring technology in, that was the hardest thing, because I feel we went 10 years into the future with technology in county government, because it's hard to break that stuff in. It's hard to do things differently. And I kept reminding everyone, Steve gets a chuckle out of, I go, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and we'll get there, but we have to just work together to make it happen.
So there was a lot of stuff going on, all of that stuff and more. And Steve, part of this book, I'm not sure who wrote it, it's one of the later chapters in the book after the county executives. At the same time that counties were offering all of these services, the state was threatening cuts because of obviously the big deficit that we were going into heading into 2021. What were the consequences of that?
Well, it was a guillotine hanging over our heads. It was a very scary period of time to fight this public health threat, but at the same time fight a fiscal crisis. The book details the economic crisis that faced these county executives who predominantly rely on sales tax. And sales tax just went dramatically through the floor. We didn't know what to expect. People were not going to restaurants anymore. The taverns were closed. Macy's was closed. There was nowhere to go out and buy and purchase things. The car sales were down. Appliances were down. So they had to deal with all that. The book is dedicated to those who lost their lives, the families who lost their loved ones. But the book is also dedicated to the public servants, county executives, county emergency management coordinators, county commissioners of health, county coroners, and all those public servants who led through this effort. Without this book, we would never have this detail left for those that come behind us.
Right. I love this as a part of history. To be honest with you, people 100 years from now can look at this book and say, these are what the counties did during the time. Hopefully we don't have another pandemic. I think that's what everybody hopes. But at least we have this to refer to. Dan, I want to go back to you because you offered a lot of services, and every county did during the pandemic.
Correct.
You delivered food to families who needed it. You set up an internet connection for students at a school that may not have that internet connection. And I think part of that exposed a lot of issues that maybe the state or even counties have to work on. What do you see as the long-term issues that come out of this that you may not have known about before that either the state or at the local level can be addressed?
You pointed to something, a book for the future, right? So we don't repeat our history, and we have a habit of doing that in this great country of ours.
Yes.
Repeating bad history because we forget about it. But one thing I've learned from all the things I've handled for the last 9.5 years, from bomb trains to the opiates, we talk about it during an emergency. And then when the emergency is over with, everyone goes home and says, all right, we're through it. But we have to take the lessons learned, and we have to take issues like you just said, the internet equity that affects different neighborhoods differently in Albany County, and we got to make sure we continue to follow through on that. And I hate to say, government has a problem that we don't. And we tend to like say, okay, yeah, we addressed it. We had a press conference. We're trying to do this. To me, and I have to commend my staff, Dan Lynch, my deputy county executive, and everyone in my office that we are continuing to do that, to follow through on internet around the county on different things. But like Steve said, like policies and the way the Senate and Assembly set up different policies, or the governor, it ties our hands a lot of the times, and people don't realize. And we got to continue to move the ball forward and make sure we address the issues that you're saying, and continue to work with the Senate and the Assembly. And the great thing about the NISAC organization is it just doesn't represent counties. It represents the 57 counties upstate New York and the 5 boroughs in New York City. We're working with legislatures and really just interworking. If people read that book, it wasn't a pat, it wasn't a victory lap for us. It was just to identify the decisions we did working together, like Steve said, calling each other at 1 o'clock in the morning, at midnight, sharing PPE when something came short and we couldn't get it through the state or we couldn't get it through the feds, helping out other nursing homes. And we just wanted to tell that story, so not just so people know in the future, but the next county executives or the next health commissioners can read it and say, okay, this is how we handled it.
You brought up a really good point talking about the Senate and the Assembly and the governor. There was a lot that happened at the state level that counties weren't necessarily warned about. And Steve, later in the book, it's written that there was a shifting power structure between the state and local governments. Can you talk about that a little bit and what the impact of that was? Because you were dealing with a time where the governor was issuing executive orders, and because of the disaster emergency, all local laws were suspended and superseded.
Well, first I want to acknowledge George Latimer. George Latimer is the Westchester executive. That was the epicenter of where this all started in New Rochelle. And without his work in Westchester and what happened down there, we would have had no idea what was going to come at us. So we did learn mental health challenges. County Executive Latimer reached out to the county executives, told us the stories about mental health challenges and how to be prepared for it. And we learned an awful lot from that. Let's remember what was happening back then. We were in the midst of a presidential election, too. We had Washington, D.C., the COVID-19 became a very political issue. The state of New York almost at war with Washington, D.C. We had a state budget that was negotiated in the midst of all this and the politics that was going on and enacting that state budget in a remote manner. They were not in the chambers. And these conflicting executive orders and the things that the counties had to do to try to interpret those executive orders, it was very difficult. One of the challenges we had was personal protective equipment, how to get that equipment from the state, from the federal government. The executive orders saying one thing, and then the community needs and the needs in the field were much different than they were at the state level. So a lot of conflict between the counties and the state, a lot of conflict between the state and Washington, but somehow these county officials managed to make it work and get the job done, and they did just that.
Right. I think at the end of the day, this is really a story about collaboration between county officials at a time where there was just so much confusion coming from the state level, coming from the legislature, coming from the federal government. But we are out of time. I could talk about this book all day. It's called Our Darkest Hours, New York County Leadership and the COVID Pandemic. You can get it wherever you buy books. Albany County Executive Dan McCoy and Steve Aquario from NISAC, thank you both so much for being here to talk about this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.